Hi, my name's Kory from CDL USA, and today I'm going to talk to you about our new product, one of our new products this year, the pump safety module. It can be hooked up to transfer pumps or a similar pump that you're going to pump to another location where there might be pressure. What it does, it's going to keep from blowing apart your line at high PSI levels and losing sap. There's some other advantages. It can keep from like pumping sap on the ground. So say you left the valve open or the line blew apart, it would actually shut your pump off without losing all your sap. You can also, so say your tank is empty and your pump stays on. If your PSI level dropped, it'll actually shut your pump off, as well as just a few like a safety feature of help you keeping from like job occurring injuries that might result from high pressure. But now we'll just take a little closer look at the safety module.
So I'll just kind of explain what you're looking at right here. So this symbol right here is just your low PSI level. So in this picture, 55 is your minimum PSI, and then this is your maximum PSI, so 65. So within this range is what this pump you'd want this to run at. If it went above 65, you're going to get an error code. Below 55, you'll get an error code. And then this right here is a 20-second symbol. So when that pump starts, it's going to need 20 seconds before it reaches that 55 PSI. If it doesn't reach that level, it's going to have an alarm as well. And then PV, that's your actual PSI that the pump is reading. Here's just your buttons for setting the parameters. If you're at that pump and you actually hold this manual button, it'll turn the transfer pump on manually at that location. Here's just a graph right here on the right of how it actually works. So it needs to read 5 PSI within the first 15 seconds for the pump to stay on. And then it needs to reach that minimum for the pump to actually stay on as well. And if it's within the minimum and the maximum, then your pump's going to stay on. If it drops below, it's going to shut off. Above, then it'll shut off as well on an alarm. So there's a startup. So there's like 3 conditions on startup. So there's either no pressure, PSI max, or minimum delay. So no pressure would be, it needs that 5 PSI after the first 15 seconds to start. If it does not get that, then it's going to try starting again 15 seconds later. It has an attempt of 4 total times. If it doesn't start up within that the 4 attempts, then it's going to go into alarm state and you'll have to manually reset that. The reason for that, for the no pressure, sometimes that pump might need priming. So within that first 15 seconds, if it doesn't start up, it's going to try again up to 4 times. So your PSI max. So if your pump's trying to start up, if it reaches that PSI max, goes above that, it's has 4 attempts as well. This could be due to ice. Maybe it'll start up after a couple attempts if that ice breaks loose. But after 4 attempts, it'll go into that alarm state. And then your PSI minimum delay. So say you have your minimum set for 20 seconds and it doesn't reach that minimum PSI, it's going to have 4 attempts as well to try to get above that minimum PSI, and if it doesn't reach that, it'll go into alarm state. Your normal operation, your PSI min, PSI max. So during normal operation, if it's already started, if it drops below your PSI minimum, it's just going to shut off. So this is normal. So that could be your tank's empty and it's not building any more pressure. But if it's been running for a little while and then it reaches above the max PSI, then it's going to go into alarm state and just shut off. So these are some of the error messages. So here's just a picture of the safety error. So what happened here is it didn't reach that 5 PSI on that first initial 15 seconds on startup. So what could have happened, maybe there's a broken pipe or something. So it just shut off because it couldn't reach that minimum PSI. Here's just the PSI max. So in this picture, if it got above 90 PSI, this is the error code that's going to pop up after 4 failed attempts. And here's just a picture of it showing 2 out of 4 times. So after 15 seconds, it's going to attempt again, and after 4 tries, it's going to that safety error.
So if you're interested in solving your problems before they arise, employee safety, and saving SAP, please visit your local CDL store or dealer for more information on this product.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe and press the notification icon to get updates on new product videos.